Welcome, everybody. I'm going to try to find this here on YouTube right now. Welcome. My name is Matt from drawingtutorialsonline.com. We're going to get started drawing here momentarily. Let's see here. So, yes. Okay. YouTube Studio. Just looking for my stream here. Okay. Okay. Almost there. We're going to be drawing soon, people. We are going to be drawing soon. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Hope everyone's doing well today. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. That would be really, really helpful. Okay. And I think I need to lower my volume. Yes. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Matt from drawingtutorialsonline.com. We're starting the official video right now. So what am I doing here today with you on YouTube? Well, I just have a couple figures. Maybe we'll draw them together. If you want to grab a pencil and draw along with me, I've got three kind of standing figures that are very easy, not too much in the ways of nudity. I kind of muted the nudity with a brush stroke in Photoshop. You'll see. You'll see momentarily here. And yes, all right. So I don't think you want to hear me talk. I think you want to watch me draw. So maybe we'll get started. So I just need to change my scenes here. And let's go to a different scene. And let's add our model. Okay, awesome. All right. Now, today, what I'm going to be doing is make sure my head's not in this camera too much, but yeah, this makes you humble really fast. No hair. Okay, getting old sucks. That's what I always like to say. Let's see, where am I going to move this? Perfect. Hi, Sandy. How are you today? Good to see you. You're going to draw along with us, right? Absolutely, you are. Okay, so here's our first pose. I picked this one because it's very easy. And now watch. I said it's easy, and watch me like crash and burn. Absolutely. Okay, so they don't make these individual pencils anymore. However, I still have a ton of them, right? And a ton. And so I'm just going to be drawing with my trusted black COL-ERASE pencil. I mean, I really do have a lot of them. So I've been content with drawing with different pencils. Like, I'm not all concerned that they're not going to make these pencils anymore. I was concerned when they originally said they weren't going to make them anymore, but yeah, now I don't really care. I'll find something else. I already have some alternatives that I think are pretty cool. So I'm going to just add a sheet of paper here because this is like cheap paper. And I'm going to add, not that what I'm using is like so expensive. It's not. It's just really Strathmore 400 series paper that you can buy at any art supply store. And it's pretty no frills. And I like drawing with stuff that I could just go into the art supply store and buy it anywhere. Yeah, I think that's really cool to do. Okay, so let's get started. Now, you just need to give me like 1 second. Hi, little Miss Random, and yes, Sandy, how are you? Okay, so now let's see here. I need to make sure that this is in the camera. Excuse the side of my head here. Yes, okay, so I'm going to just make like a little mark as to where my camera is, and it's about right there. Okay, good. And where's the bottom? Awesome. Now, listen, that's not a lot of space there, which kind of stinks, but we're going to go for it. Can we get Yeah, absolutely. I think it's made in the UK. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, absolutely. They sell this pad anywhere. Now, I heard from a couple of the members of my website that it's a little pricier there than it is here. 1 second, time out. I just want to make sure that I'm on the... Oh, I got way more room. Okay, good. Yeah, this pad could be purchased anywhere. It's just some places might be a little bit expensive, like if you're going to a specialty shop. Okay, so we've got this pose here. We might as well get started. Oh, wait, I'm procrastinating. Coffee. Okay, here we go. Now I promise you we're going to get going, and I'm just going to do my little scribbles over here because I want to get the feel for the pencil on the paper. I won't do a full-blown scribbling section, which is what I really like to do. But you should do this. You should really do what I'm doing right here before you start to draw. And you know, this pencil, the one thing I'm remembering about it instantaneously is that you have to press down pretty hard to get the darks compared to the other pencils that I use. So since this is where the top of my sheet of paper is, I'm going to say I'm going to start shoulders here. Okay, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller today with my torso. So I'm starting shoulders there, and as a matter of fact, I am not procrastinating. I am just getting, well, at least I'm trying to get a grayscale. Yes, people, I am trying to get a grayscale. So you see what that just did to my paper? It instantaneously made it a little bit lighter. And that's like a little video photography trick. When you photograph your drawings on white paper, definitely put something dark on the white paper. So yes. Now, okay, how is my paper? Is my paper tilted because of the camera? It's not that bad. It's really tilted. My ruler right now is going straight up and down, so it's tilted slightly. So there's going to be a little distortion with my drawing. No harm, no foul. Okay. So getting back to this drawing, I'm going to look at the model shoulder. And so we've got shoulder. And then if you've been with me for the last couple weeks here on YouTube, you've been seeing me really, really focus in on this torso. Okay, so now this model is super thin. And let's see, can you even see what I'm doing there? I will press down hard. So this is, I'm going light to dark first. So let's see here. So we've got shoulder, angle of the back, angle of the hips, and then our sacrum is tilted. So those two little dimples above the butt. And you immediately want to do something in the middle. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just come over. So now I've got basically my torso with a couple of S-curve lines. And it's nothing really to write home to mom about, but that's how I like to start. And I'm just going to do bottom of the butt just to get that height of the torso. And this side of the glute is dropping. Now, my next step, and I should be able to get this onto the paper. Probably could have started a little bit higher. So, you know, let me grab my remote and just zoom out a little bit because the next part of this is actually the most important part. That makes figure drawing, in my opinion, like a little bit easy. So what you do next is you just cruise on down with a line of action all the way down to where you think the foot is, and you place that foot. So I've got my heel and I've got my toe area, and that looks a little long for me. Okay, but I'd rather have it longer because I can always raise it. So I put that in, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit higher. I think that's maybe better. Now, you see I've kind of made a mess down over here, but it's all good. You know, it's just figure drawing class. And don't be afraid to be messy with your drawings. I think that's really, really, people just try to get like too perfect with it, and it becomes like this propped up thing that is like, you know, you're trying to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. There's you just trying to get better. And that's the one thing that you've got to appreciate with this. And then I'm just going to cruise into the bottom of that foot. So I'm being very, very gestural with it right now. I'm not really worried about perfection. Now, a quick measure line, what is right up above the butt? So now I can move the shoulders over. Now, but Matt, look, you just made a mistake over here. I did. We can turn that into background tone, or we can just erase it. Now, I would never erase it with this eraser because this eraser is hard as a rock and it'll stain the paper. Let me just pause for a minute. Look at the chat. Okay. Yeah, we have to find out because it's really okay. Yeah, you know, don't worry about the COL-ERASE pencil. There's a lot of good substitutes. They don't sell these separately. They make you buy like the 12-pack, and the 12-pack has all these colors that are, for me personally, they're a little useless. Like, I'm not going to be drawing with orange and yellow and, you know, yellow, green. I think, yeah, maybe some of the dark purples or browns maybe. So some of my students buy the packs, and a lot of people like indigo blue, like certain colors. Like there's an art supply store near the college, School of Visual Arts. They still sell them there. A couple of my students have been buying them. Is that Reese? Line separating the light from the shade on the model goes crazy. Yes, Reese, how are you today? And good to see you. What are you doing on YouTube? You should be sleeping at spring break. Is Core out on Long Island? Hopefully not. Okay. So, all right, I'm talking way too much. I need to draw. So I'm just going to suggest the bottom of the arm and maybe oh, yeah, line that separates. I should do that. Thanks for the reminder, Core. Absolutely. So now I'm going to just come on into this gal's hip and just kind of come down, have a little bit more of a deliberate edge. Now, don't get stuck in one area. Let's move. So let's do the deltoid, and let's do the arm. Now, notice I'm not outlining. Okay, let's do this arm. I'm just suggesting which elbow is higher than the other. Just do a quick like little measurement without doing a measurement. And yes, and so now this goes into the back of the neck. Now, I need to stop for a second and actually look at the photo because we're drawing from this photo today. And I'm going to just look at that neck. And so now my next step would be shape of hair. Okay, I'm a big believer in shape of hair. And then I'm just going to suggest top of head like that. Okay, yes, I am, just because it's a live stream. I would never do this when we're doing like quick gestures with the model. I am going to just quickly erase out. This is a COL-ERASE right now, hence the name COL-ERASE. I'm going to erase a couple of my mistakes just for simplicity of a view here. Okay, nice. Now, what I can do is more coffee. Yes, okay. What do you put in your coffee, Matt? Well, I've got heavy whipping cream for fat. I'm doing a keto diet, and I also have LMNT, electrolytes in there, chocolate flavor. It's the best. Okay. Now, okay, somebody like commented last. I love comments on YouTube. They're the best. Someone was like, yeah, why didn't you pre-sharpen all of your pencils before you do the live stream? And, well, okay, these are all pre-sharpened, but I kind of like to stick with the same pencil when I'm drawing. It's just a touch and feel thing. Okay, let me look at the chat here. Matt, you can give me your extra colors. Love them. Reese, listen to me. I've never bought the set of COL-ERASE. I just, like, honestly, if I dive deep, I cannot tell you. I've got so many. Here's one. Like, here's two. They're all going to fall now. Here's more. Well, these are Verithins. Okay. I'm a COL-ERASE hoarder. I can show you, like, more stacks, but that's not why people are here on the live stream. I'm not a coffee drinker. I can't get on with it. I hear you. It's not for everybody. Okay, so at this point in the game, I'm okay with my proportions. It's just it's a quick sketch. So now that was what is called in my little classroom our first go through. Now our second go through is where we're going to pay a little bit closer attention. And I'm going to start at the top over here. So I just want to take the edge off my pencil point, and I've got a lot of glare. I'm using my computer screen. Excuses, Matt. On my, whatchamacallit, screen where I'm looking at my reference. So now I'm just going a little slower, and I'm looking much, much more at the photo reference and less at my drawing. Now, this line here feels a little too long for me. So I'm going to try to kick out the glute, kicks out, kicks in, come around with the bottom of the glute, and then we kick in again with a little convex. I'm not really seeing too many convexes on this photo. That's going to roll in, and then I'm just going to dance down. Wow, Matt, you're really drawing on the edge. Yeah, I am. I need to draw a little bit more on the center here. So let's get the center of the butt. And I've got a big white paintbrush stroke across the center of the butt. It's my Photoshop. My reference is in Photoshop. I should get rid of that big white because you can't see what I'm drawing. Yes, okay, good, better. Now I can actually see the model. And I'm going to come across, and now I like to go across to the other side of the pelvis right here to get that round vibe and into the inside of the knee. Matt, aren't you going to like separate and outline each leg? Not yet, not yet. So I'm going to go down to this ankle, and then this foot kind of kicks out. I might go shorter. And so I'm going to come back to this leg, and I'm rolling into the other arch of the foot. I like to do that. It's very gestural. I kind of want to leave some of those lines down there for you just to see what I'm up to. And now I think I've got the pelvis tilted a little bit too much, so I'm going to be a little bit looser with this drawing. Maybe if I start to draw, I've got two other poses maybe that we can get to dependent on time. Yes, so now let's deal with this shoulder. So we've got our deltoid. Now, see over here at this model's underarm, this is the lat muscle, and it actually rolls in. Never end that line straight. Always curve that line. It's just going to make your drawings look way more three-dimensional. Let's see here. David, watching from the gym, saving it for tomorrow. Appreciate that, David. Appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely plan on doing a live stream every Tuesday here on YouTube before my Zoom class for members of DTO. Every week I do I do 3 semesters at my website, drawingtutorialsonline.com. We do a summer semester, a fall semester, and a spring semester. And those semesters kind of coincide with my college teaching schedule at the School of Visual Arts, so I can have like kind of a simpler life. And I like that schedule a lot because when we have a break at the college, I can just break for like a couple weeks. In the summertime, I'll be doing a lot on my website because I don't really teach in the summer at SVA. I might have one pre-college class. They asked me to teach a pre-college class for animation, high school animation students. It's all about enrollment. I don't know if there's going to have enough enrollment, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, a lot of people who take the pre-college classes tend to have a nice portfolio to show when they're trying to show to the admissions office. So if you're interested in taking a pre-college class, whether it's the illustration department or the animation department, and you're in high school right now and you've got nothing to do in the summer, you should check that out. It's the School of Visual Arts. It's pre-college. It's a 3-week stint, and I have the animation students for the first week for life drawing class. But I think my section this year might be online, so they'll have another teacher teaching in person. That's not going to be my job. Now, again, I'm just flapping a little bit. They asked me to teach the class, but you never know what's going to happen. It's all about like student enrollment. Now, as I draw the heel, the butt is to the left of the heel. Do that one big long measurement, okay? So I'm going to just work on this foot a touch. Okay, David, it's strange when you take a long break from drawing. You think you lost all your ability, but it's not that bad when you start again. Yeah, well, here's my little kind of 2 cents with that. The longer in terms of years that you've been drawing, the shorter it will take you to get back into the swing of things. If you just started drawing and all of a sudden you decide to take like a month off, it's going to take a long time for you kind of to get back into it. But if you've been doing this for years and you take like a couple weeks off, it'll take you like maybe an hour, 2 hours to kind of get back into it. And it really depends on what that is in terms of getting back into it. Like if you're drawing from a photo, like it might be difficult, but you can get back into it quickly. Life drawing, well, that's another can of worms. Life drawing's takes a little bit longer to get into because what's usually happening is very difficult. You are drawing a nude person on a modeling platform, and there's no place to hide when you do that. It's kind of in your face. Now, okay, do I need to? So that doesn't take a morning to get back into. That takes like a little bit longer. Now, this face is to the left of that shoulder. Does that mean I need to kick out the shoulder? I maybe. So yeah, so maybe I'm a little off there. And this model's head's pretty small because it's a 3/4 view. Okay. So I'm just drawing hair for now. I'm not getting too caught up with details, details, details. So how long have we been doing this? Not. Let's see. What time is it? Well, kind of a little long because I'm talking so much. Let's see here. So pre-college is what we call college before university. Kind of. Yes. Another drink of coffee here. 1 second. I got to make sure my head isn't getting in this video too much here today. Well, at least you know it's me drawing and not some AI thing. They wouldn't have my like bald head and AI. They would get rid of that. Absolutely. So pre-college at the School of Visual Arts basically are college teachers teaching a 3-week course in the illustration department, animation, all the fine arts, all the different departments. And they teach what they teach at college, and they alter their syllabus geared towards the younger students, perhaps. I don't do that. I teach the same stuff to the younger students that I teach to the college age students. It's only like a couple year difference anyway. And so I teach the same thing that I teach in college. So really, if you're a high school student, taking a pre-college class is a wonderful way for you to test the waters before you dive into and go into art college. So you could take a pre-college class, say in the animation department at the School of Visual Arts for 3 weeks, and you could make a film and learn how to draw. And I'm just going to start to shade now. And you could be like, oh my God, this was so fun. I got to apply. Or you can be like, oh my God, this was awful. I just realized I like to watch animation, not animate. And they're two different things. They're two different things. And then if you're young and you do this maybe in 10th grade, then in 11th grade, you can say, well, you know what? This summer, I'm going to check out the illustration department. And then maybe you can take a pre-college class in the animation, in the illustration department, and you can be like, oh my God, I like this so much better than the animation department because I like to paint and I like to spend hours on a painting. I don't like, oh, a little negative space over here. I don't like spending a whole lot of time animating keyframes and stuff like that. So it's a great way if you're young and you're in high school to discover before you commit to spending thousands and thousands of dollars on your education, because it is a financial commitment to say the least, right? And yes. Okay, so let's see here. For 16 to 18-year-old deciding what they want to do, absolutely. So it's more like sixth form. I don't know what sixth form means. David, I was drawing for like 2 to 3 years, and then I took a 3 to 4 month break. I mean, it happens. Like I've been doing this my whole entire life. Seriously, like in high school and then in college, and then right out of college, I started my illustration career, and that was insane, drawing constantly, sometimes 7 days a week, 6 to 10 hours a day, depending on the deadline schedule. And so, yeah, I mean, I draw sometimes a little less, like during the winter breaks from college. I won't draw as much because I just try to take like a little mental break, and that's really important for me. But yeah, it depends. Like it really depends. All right, now let me look at this on my video screen. Not loving it, but it's just a drawing on YouTube. But I'm going to try to adjust it, and I'm going to try to go a value darker. Okay, more coffee, people, more coffee. Yeah, so what I would really love to hear from everybody on YouTube is what would you like me to have classes on Tuesday? Okay. Now, before you answer that, what are the things that I think I'm halfway decent at teaching? Figure, portrait, landscape. Figure, portrait, landscape. I am very good at perspective, but most people check out when you say perspective, especially online. It is really, if you want to do illustration or backgrounds for animation, I honestly feel that perspective is like the number one thing you need to know because it really adds so much depth to your backgrounds for animation. It creates variety in your storyboards. All that stuff I think is huge. Yeah, love landscape stuff, love figure drawing, love portrait drawing, all of that. I feel like I'm pretty decent considering I've been teaching at the college for 27 years plus, and online since 2008. Oh my God. Yeah, composition. Thank you, Little Miss Random. I appreciate that. John Fernandez, just want to, as you, how important it is to go to school. Do you think online classes would be enough? Okay, that's a really good question. So, for some, okay, let's take personality traits. So, some personality traits, people are kind of loners, and they're not just loners, but they're self starters, where they give themselves projects and they take the initiative and they make things happen. For that type of person, I think you could maybe not necessarily go to college, and you can kind of, if those people who are self-initiators tend to be a little bit more disciplined, and you would just find a good online school and follow and then get a mentor online, and that there's a lot of them around. There's plenty of teachers that do mentorships and also have private coaching. I think that's a viable option for you. If you're not really responsible like that, and you're not a self-starter, and you like to be told what to do, and you enjoy school, and you enjoy social settings, and you enjoy meeting new people, and getting out of your comfort zone, and living the college life, well, then I would say college is going to be the better choice for you. And financially, college is out of control. And so if you're in a tough financial spot, every single thing that I teach in my college classes, I teach on my website. As a matter of fact, sometimes I teach it better on my website because I'm doing longer critiques and I'm doing longer demos. I can't really do long demos in the classroom because, like, a lot of the students, attention span in the classroom sometimes isn't always there, and so I have to keep the demos a little bit shorter. But online, the video that I create, I can draw for like hours, and so it's endless learning, right? But then another pro of going to school is that you get to meet people, and you get to meet all different teachers, and you get to experience growing up that way, where you're in more of a community. So online learning community is online, not so much in person. You can do it. It's really based on your financial situation and your personality, truly. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is do another pose. Okay, yeah, this is going to get boring for you to watch me doing this. I feel like I'm a little bit warmed up, so maybe I'll work on this for like 2 more minutes, a little bit. The most, Little Miss Random, truly the most important thing when you're composing an image, whether it's a storyboard for an animation or a thumbnail sketch for an illustration, the most important thing that people do not consider is shapes of value. Shapes of value. That, to me, is the most important thing. And images that are very strong have shapes of value. Okay, that to me is most important. Okay, I think we're done with this one. I'm going to switch to a different pose. I love that pose. I could draw it forever. It's really cool. Let's say I just want to do a little bit with the features of the face. I would just do angle of forehead, angle of the eye socket, angle of the nose, bottom of the nose, and then I'm just going to kind of go down like that. And then I'm doing a round with those, with that brow thing. Okay. That is 3/4 of an inch tall, so I don't want to deal with that right now. You know, another thing that would be kind of interesting for you to try is just kind of suggesting that little lash thing right over there. That's another option for you right there. Okay. Now notice that foot should be directly under the center of the neck. Both heels, yes. So now our model's not going to tip over. And, you know, I maybe can press down a little bit harder over here. And I like doing the ellipse at the bottom. I think that's really important. Ellipses are mucho important. Okay, so now just bear with me. I want to switch poses because hell, why not do another pose? Okay, so let's go to pose number 2. Oh, cool. All righty. This should be good for YouTube. Yeah, this should be good for YouTube. Okay. What am I doing here? Do I really need a new sheet of paper? No, I kind of want to draw these together on one sheet of paper. Okay, time out. I need to get a little bit more coffee. 1 second. You know, the other thing with learning online is you do have to be disciplined because, you know, most people would do this at home. And if you're doing it at home, it's rough. Like you got to be disciplined with your time and all of that. And some people just don't have that self-discipline. Okay, so what happens when I slide this over a little bit? I think I'd have enough room. I just need to make sure that I have enough screen. I should have started over more. Okay, I screwed up. 1 second. Live stream pose 2. Okay, I think I got this. 1 second. Just move in my reference. Cool. Now, I've been with Sandy. I've been with DTO since the beginning, and I think you just me feel really old. Make me. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit! I started that website in 2008, or no, 2009. I forgot. It's been a while. Okay. New pose. Let's see. I'm looking. Back to YouTube. Who's this lady? I get these photos. I purchased the rights to use them on Graphit Studio. Yes, this model pack is pretty phenomenal. Okay, so we're starting a new drawing, people. So I'm going to take the edge off that pencil point, and I'm going to start at the same height, maybe a little bit higher, but shoulders at the same height. So look at how I'm starting here. I'm starting with this round line. This model, now, okay, yeah, that's cool. This model's shoulders are rounding and they're tilting. Okay, now the rib cage. Big curve. Hip. Now, go a little faster. Don't get, see, I'm going too slow. I'm going to get stiff. I need to go faster. Breast will wrap around over here. Breast, navel. Now, I'm going to do my line of action. Now, is that foot? It's to the right of the hip. So I'm going to just suggest the bottom of that foot, perspective, and then a perspective line. Can you see that? Let me make sure that you can see the bottom. Okay, good. Where are we? Let's go back to YouTube. Okay, cool. So look, I'm predictable and boring. I start the same way every time. What's the difference between, let's say, an amateur and a professional in any field, sports, anything? It's consistency. So now some of you on YouTube can be like, well, consistency is boring. Okay, I get you. But consistency is a great way to get the same results over and over and over again. That's why I like to start the same way. Now, okay, cool. So now I've got the letter C for the hip. It's not perfect. I have to figure that out. And then the opposite letter C for the leg. I know Stephen Gaffney hates these techniques. Stephen, I'm sorry. I know you don't like the opposite C's. I apologize for that. And so, yeah, now I'm going to do the opposite C, and I'm going to go down to those toes. Stephen, now listen, if you do take a class at SVA, you got to take a class with Stephen. He's like the hallmark of the animation department, and for years he's been teaching there, and he teaches in a lot of different departments. So he teaches very differently than me, and that's the good thing about college, is that you do get the variety of a bunch of different teachers, which you wouldn't necessarily be exposed to. Like if you decide that you're going to try to get your education online, well, you can gravitate towards what you like. But sometimes when you're forced to take a class and you're like, oh, God, I don't know if I like this teacher, they might be your most favorite teacher after you took their class. Those legs are very long. I've got to adjust. And, so that's actually a really cool thing when you take a class with a teacher and you're like, I don't like this person. And then at the end of the semester, you're like, you know what? I judged too soon. This was one of the best classes I ever took. And I think that is beautiful when that happens, because it's like a happy accident. Just doing a little shape inside to kind of anchor this pose. Cool. Navel a little bit higher. Pelvis. I'm drawing in Photoshop with the paint marks that you can't see, so I need to get rid of those. Good. Okay. Let me just look at the questions. Bogota, Colombia. Wow, cool. Thanks for watching the live stream. Now, listen, everybody, I never really ask you to do much, but if you can like this, I don't know what the dealio is with the live stream. If you can like it or leave a comment after the live stream is complete, with maybe think about writing what you want me to teach in the comments when this is complete. I know that's kind of asking a lot. Boy, I am making this leg so short. So now, okay, this is a good, too long. This is a really good problem that I can maybe show you how I would fix this on the live stream. So now what I need to do is move my photo reference over so I can actually see it. There we go. Okay, so I shouldn't judge yet with the legs. I know they're long, but I shouldn't overly judge until I get the rest of the pose in. So now I need to get this arm. So this arm starts here. So it's deltoid. And I'm just going to do a quick little flow. And yes, and model's looking up. Just sketch this. Let's just get the bottom of the jaw. Let's get the face. Let's get this super long neck into the collarbone. This collarbone really drops to the shoulder, to the breast. I'm going to maybe make that breast a little bit fuller, tilt of the breast right there. And then I don't know, I'm just going to suggest the other hand. I'm not going to really get into that right now. And maybe I'll just do center of the breast right over here. So what I need to do is I just really need to go faster. I'm going too slow. And that's why my proportions are off. Okay, so lesson learned. When you draw a little bit faster in the beginning, your proportions will be like, the chances of you getting good proportions when you go faster, sometimes the probability of that, it goes up tremendously. So now another thing that could help you with proportions is adding like a little bit of shape of value. So if I add a little bit of shape of value, I will see the pose better. And I am definitely kicking this hip out way too much. Yep. So I can bring that in. I can shade down a little bit, and I can bring in a little convex into the abs. And let's see, what else can I do here? I can bring the abs in, the pelvis right here, go into the privates. Cool. And then we have this leg over here. So yeah, now I need to move this leg over. This is what I think is missing. I need to move this leg over, in. I'm just going to go around like that. I'm going to put that arch of the foot right there. And then I'm going to say toes right here. And so you also got to remember this gal's up on her toes. So that's given the appearance that this leg is longer than. So I got to watch out. Don't make that too thick. The foot starts here. Line of action to the toe. So now I'm going to take my kneaded eraser and just erase out because this is too thick. And erase out over here, much too thick. Actually, let's try the Mono Zero. I love this little eraser. Somebody turned me on to this on the live stream, and whoever that was, thank you for that. Yeah, okay, cool. Now, all right, time out, people. Coffee. I'm gonna resharpen my pencil. CPT coat rack. Belgium. Breen frog. Greg, I'd like to see a tutorial on how to make arms look natural when they are in front of the body. Foreshortened to the viewer. Okay, so I'm going to get my Post-it notes, and I'm going to write that down. So a live stream on foreshortening limbs. Okay, I love that. We can do that. That would be awesome. Okay, I love that suggestion. Okay, Matt. So let's draw. Let's draw. Let's do a little bit with a model's hair and ear. Okie dokie, and back of hair. And I'm just gonna kind of come down lightly over here with a little bit of tone. Super long neck. Sternomastoid. I don't want to put too much information on a young girl's neck. Like, you just have to do like less is best with the neck and face area, because the face is 3/4 of an inch high, and you don't want to go too detailed with it. The more detailed you could, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, doing detail on a small head like that. Can be done. It's just you've got to go with the philosophy of less is best, and I definitely drew this too long. All good. I used to get so upset with my proportions being a little bit off. For like classes, I don't care. It is what it is, and I just want to give out information as much as I possibly can. That's the whole vibe of doing this, is giving you information. Absolutely. So now with this leg, I'm just going to kind of treat it as a silhouetted shape. And listen, when you do the foot down over here, you got to do those form lines that wrap around like that, because they show that foot being more round. And so I'm just going to suggest that big toe. Now, this foot's a beast over here. Wow, it's a beast. So let me try. Okay, I think that's the ankle. Got to wrap around. And then we have a little heel. Now, I'm wrapping around heavy. Don't wrap around heavy like what I just did. You want to wrap around light. So I'm just really trying my very best to pay attention to the edge of this foot. I learned how to draw using angles in my 20s, and so whenever I struggle, I go back to that because it's kind of my comfort zone, even though I can't really draw with straight lines anymore. I think straight lines are the worst thing that you can do, but Only when you're using the angles technique would I suggest using straight lines. Okay. Let me resharpen again. Let me CPT coat rack. I was a member around 5 years ago. Most progress I ever made was through your site and the critiques that you gave. Oh boy, okay. By far the best drawing lessons online. I always have a COL-ERASE now. I appreciate that. Yeah, I haven't been drawing with the COL-ERASE. I've been using my other Derwent drawing pencil on newsprint. Okay, so we're switching from coffee to water. Give me a second here, people. I don't know. I talk, maybe because I talk so much. Okay. Do I love it? Not really. Is it fine for the live stream? Yes. Now I'm gonna try to fix some mistakes. I'm just gonna draw over this with my eraser. This is too dark. Never go dark across like that. What you wind up doing is cutting that leg off of the torso, and that's not good. And all of this, I could leave this somewhat dark because it's a foreground leg. If it was a background leg, I'd kind of be a little upset about that because dark lines come forward and light lines recede into the background. So yeah, now this is a brush that I really like to use because what you can do is you can tap it and it takes a little of the COL-ERASE off, and then you can come on in and you can start to draw like a little bit with your eraser. And what this also does is it smudges the COL-ERASE into the background value, and it gives it like a really beautiful, beautiful soft look. Now, okay, some days you have your proportions and some days you don't. My proportions are fine for this live stream. They're fine. Okay, just looking. Let's see. We've been at it for about 47 minutes. And let me just try to push this a little bit more. And then we'll do another one. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this straight line, try to curve this into the elbow. And yes, and go around. I'm going to just try to add a little bit more detail here and there. Now, for those of you who know nothing about me and you're watching the live stream, my name is Matt, and I started illustrating books in 1990. I graduated from the School of Visual Arts in 1990, and I illustrated book covers and children's picture books for about 18 years. And then I got to like year 16, 17, and I was getting really bored. And that's when I decided I didn't want to illustrate anymore because 18 years of meeting deadlines is brutal. And so I'm like, okay, I think I've kind of had enough of other people's deadlines. And that's when I started drawingtutorialsonline.com. So around 2008, 2009, I started that. And it's been online ever since 2009. I think August 7th was when I launched that website. And so, yeah, I teach there every week. Like I said earlier in the live stream, I do a Zoom class. And then I also, where members get the most value, I think, is through the critiques. And critiques, I've been critiquing. I started teaching at the School of Visual Arts in 1997. So I've been critiquing people's artwork. I don't know how many years that is. I think it's 27 years. And I'm really good at seeing quickly what you need to work on, what needs improvement. And there's a whole, mental management that athletes use for getting better and becoming consistent. So now I'm starting to apply those principles that Olympic athletes use to improve fast. And it's taken the critiquing to like a whole nother level. I'm really, really excited about that. And so that's what really Drawing Tutorials Online has to offer you. Live classes, a full library of full tutorials without the distraction of being on YouTube. Now, I love YouTube. Absolutely love it. I'm on YouTube every single day. But it's a big distractor. For me, it is. Because then I just could lose myself in watching all these videos. And the beautiful thing about the website is that you're like, oh, damn, I'm paying for this. And there's this big library. And it when you pay for something, you're probably going to pay a little bit closer attention to it. And you'll follow along with the courses. And each lesson has downloadable photo reference. So there's a big thing there with it. And so that's a little history about me and what I do. Right now, I'm primarily not illustrating because I decided not to do that anymore. I have a big workload at the School of Visual Arts. I got 5 classes there. And on Tuesday and Monday is when I do stuff on my website, drawingtutorialsonline.com. And in the summer is when I teach some classes at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I also do a lot of one-to-one coaching in the summer. So if you're interested in that, you could email me when we get closer to May, and maybe we can plan out a couple of months or a month where we work together and you can get better really fast. I just did that wrong. Okay. So I think this one's done. Yeah, this one's done too. Trying to keep them loose. So things for you to understand with this is that I've outlined everything way too much. So probably I would not outline here, not outline here. That would just kind of relax everything. I could also think about my ellipse now at the bottom. Very important. I can also think about like a perspective connection line with connecting the 2 feet. Yes. Okay, let's see. I had a teacher who didn't give critique. She only came around and said, no, start again. Okay. Trust me, I felt that way some days. I'm only joking, but yeah, no, that's awful. That's awful. So there's 2 different types of critiquing. There's 2. One is short critiquing when the students are working from the model, where you make suggestions as you walk by, and that's a short critique. And a long critique would be where you critique homework that they did, and you talk about it a little bit longer, and then in the middle would be when the student's drawing from the live model, you actually say, hey, can I sit in your spot? And you sit down and you draw on their drawing pad, and they watch you draw the same pose, and you could either draw on top of their pose or next to it. And that's really the most valuable critique. Okay, so one more. Fabrizio Condore. Where are you from, Fabrizio? I hope I said your name right. Where are you from? Okay, so new pose. Oh boy, I don't know if I like these today. I guess it doesn't matter. I just drew them live. New pose. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I want to draw this on the same sheet of paper. How do I do this? Let's see. How do I do this? I want to draw this on the same sheet of paper. Okay, I'm going to get it's arts and crafts time, people. It's arts and crafts time. I'm going to get my scissors. Ooh, yes. I have problems when it comes to drawing small faces. Any advice from Argentina? Okay, yeah. Yes, I'll draw a little face in a second here. Okay, so yes. Ooh, wow, look at this. I feel like I'm in arts and crafts. This is so much fun. I'm using a scissor. This is crazy. Usually I recommend highly cutting paper with a razor blade and a ruler, not a scissor. But we're improvising because I'm on YouTube and I don't want to upset the whole apple cart And I just want to slide that over and draw the next pose here. Okay, time out, time out. Let me see here. Let me see if I can see my photo reference. And I'm going to Photoshop and okay. And I just need to move my photo reference to the left and I can see the whole model. Perfect. Okay. Now, that model is all the way to the left, which kind of sucks. Okay, I'm almost done. We're taking a little bit more off. So I've got like everything on this one screen. So screen space is so valuable. Now, again, these are just live stream drawings. I have thousands of drawings in my studio and in storage. So I've thrown a lot of bad ones out. Like I kept a lot of bad ones for way too long. I only keep the ones that I really, really like. So I don't even know what I'll do with these. Okay, let's get a little drink of water before we start this. Okay. A small face. Let me do that at the end. But let's do this next pose. Let's do this next pose. Where am I? Looking at the photo reference. Now, this is the top. Bottom. Okay, now this pose is going to look, yeah, weird, but I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to say hip. I'm starting at the hip just because line of action to that shoulder, hip, and pelvis, and quad, opposite letter C. Knee, go faster, Matt, opposite letter C. Angle of the foot. Now just size up the length of that leg. Where's the heel in relationship to the butt? So now I'm just going to do privates. That's kind of the connecting right over there and over here. Torso peanut shape. So the only reason why I drew that leg first was because I wanted to have the hip at the same height and I just wanted to place the foot. It's more for placement of these drawings to make sure that I was going to be able to place them on the same sheet of paper, and they were going to somewhat flow together. So going back to this gal's hip, I am doing a lot of outlining today. I don't understand why. Maybe it's my COL-ERASE pencil that's making me feel the need to outline. Maybe I'm struggling a little bit, or maybe I realize that I have ample time to do this, so I'm not concerned about doing like a 2-minute gesture. That's probably it. Like I know I can spend as much time on each drawing as I would like, and I don't really have to rush. How do you determine where the line of action is? That's a great question. Constantinus, hello. So listen, if you have 10 art teachers, each art teacher is going to have their own idea of the line of action. So I see it on some poses, and some poses I don't. On this pose, the line of action is it goes from the shoulder through the breast, down the rib cage, to the pelvis, down this leg, all the way to the top of the foot. So that's how I see it on that pose. On this pose, I see it here, underarm through the breast, down to the pelvis, all the way to the top of the foot. So yes, on this pose, I see it back. Really, it should have been the shoulder, lower back, but to the back of the knee. That was my line of action, like right there. Now, okay, so let me resharpen. Okay. Rebel Poet 25. I appreciate you joining us. Do you make mistakes while drawing often, or drawings that gives you? Yeah, I constantly make mistakes, but you need to change the way that you think about mistakes. You need to. I'm just looking at this reference here. Okay, that goes up. You just need to think of it as okay. It's an opportunity for learning. If I wrote down what needs work, and if I write that down, and I'm like, oh yeah, on this figure drawing that I was doing in class, like I went to a life drawing class, and I kept making these mistakes, and I kept making the model's legs like too short, and I don't know why I did that. So you write that down, and then you just become very conscious of like what needs work. And then when you go to the next life drawing class, you look at your notes, you look at what you wrote. And so now you write down on every single sheet of paper, longer legs, longer legs. So as you're drawing, you're conscious now that you need to make longer legs. And that's the good thing about making mistakes is it's an opportunity to learn. Now, some people hate to make mistakes, and they're like, it's a lot of a little bit of low confidence. It's a lot of wanting to just do a good job, a little bit of frustration. But honestly, like making mistakes is where you learn, in everything. Now, you let me rephrase that. Making mistakes and then writing down what needs work so you don't constantly repeat those mistakes is how you get better. You're not going to get better by staying in your comfort zone and not making mistakes. If you're making mistakes, it means you're taking chances, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But yeah, I make mistakes all the time. All the time. Why can't I do this? I guess I can't get rid of the black mark. Okay. It is what it is. So now shoulder, and I need to be able to see this gal's head. All right, I need to move my reference to the left. Is the okay? So let me look at the chat here for a second. Um, yeah, that don't use erasers more than the pencil. That's actually very bad. So okay, the way to not use your eraser and just use your pencil is to work from light to dark. So go very, very light with your first strokes, and then you go over them with your darker strokes. So yeah, don't over erase. That's no good. We don't even I don't even use an eraser in my life drawing class. If I make a mistake, it is what it is. You just keep drawing and you adjust. Question: what is that tendon muscle above the beginning where the leg attaches to the pelvis? It looks like a small square shape on the left side of her abs. Yes. Okay. So let me just erase this. This right here is I hope this is what you're talking about. This right here is your pelvis. Now I'll go across. So pelvis, and then your quads kick out, and then kick in. And so there is a muscle here, and it goes around, around, around. It's called tensor fasciae latae, something like that. I went to a therapist for my knee, and they said it a little bit differently. And then right over here, you have your gluteus medius, and then over here, you have your gluteus max. So there's your tensor fasciae latae, TFL, gluteus medius, gluteus max, pelvis bone, and then the other side of the pelvis. Let me look at this reference a little closer. Is here, and this is making a box. So this would be the box of this model's pelvis right there. I hope you can see that. I know I'm kind of butchering the drawing, but it doesn't matter. And then a little, I can't even see the reference. A little navel and a little wraparound over there. And this should be bottom of the rib cage wrapping in. I hope that answered your question. Um, so there's a lot of stuff starting at your pelvis over here. So there's some quads that attach to that, and there's a long strappy muscle called your sartorius. So if this is your pelvis, this is your pelvis. I don't see it over here, but yeah, there's a long strappy muscle. This is more of a 3/4. But there's a lot that starts at this pelvis bone. I could draw the leg very, very quickly. And if I, am I gonna, let me just sketch it here. So if I do the glutes, pelvis, sartorius, side of the quad, and these would be your adductors. This would be your pubic bone. That's your pelvis. So your, this is that muscle that I was talking about, your sartorius. It goes all the way down. It attaches to your, is this on video? Yes. Okay. This is your tibia bone, lower leg. This would be your kneecap. And so you have your quads here. So one of them is hidden. So we have 1, 2, 3. One of them is hidden, and this is that long strappy muscle. Once again, glute, quad, and then your lower leg would start. And then this is your tibia bone, and that's your lower leg calf muscle soleus there. And these are your adductors. Inguinal ligament. So it's very, and there's a lot ITB band over here. There's a lot of stuff going on. You just got to remember that if I do lay of the land, it kind of starts to look a little bit like this. Wrapping around, and then over here, round, 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 and then this knee becomes like a little bit more of a box. Okay, so let me just resharpen again. The person who said, "Why don't you sharpen your pencils before the live stream?" is probably going nuts. I'm just doing it by eye. So I believe in all different methods. I mean, I've been drawing for years, so I'm just kind of, it's comparative analysis. But the most important thing is, Fabricio, is that you say, hey, what's right below that butt? Is the heel to the right? Is it to the left? What's right below the center of the breast? Or what's right below the center of the neck? And that's really important. So now this COL-ERASE pencil, I forgot how much this thing smudges. My God. It really smudges pretty bad. Yeah, pelvis. Okay. And okay, back to this little sketch here. Okay, so in a nutshell, if I get a little scrap piece of paper here, the way to draw proportions quickly is you first draw the torso. You first draw the torso. That means bottom of the butt, top of the shoulders. And then you go draw the line of action to that leg to the foot. And then you place the foot at the bottom and you look and you ask yourself the question, is that leg too, you lean back in your chair. Is this too long? Is it too short? And then you say, well, what happens if I put that leg there? I think I like that better. I like that leg longer. It looks more like the pose. And then you don't get stuck there. You then go back up top and you suggest the head. And now you lean back again. And this is how you get proportions. It's very, very, very quick. And then after you get the next foot. And yes, now, to me, like I start every drawing with the torso. Every drawing with the torso is how I start. Now, I could maybe start with this line of action if I wanted to, but that's how you're going to get fast, and that's how you're going to see proportions quickly. Now, I just can't believe how much this is all smudging over here. So if I take my little eraser, okay, let's see, what time is it? We'll draw for a little while longer. Maybe I'll do one out of my imagination when I'm done. I just got to get a little drink of water. Okay, time out. You know, it's really important for you to use one or two big, long, tall measure lines from like the shoulder or the head, and what's right below that, which foot is under the head. And that's really a great way for you to figure out proportions quickly. So the other way is to just give yourself targets. So now if I try to get this model's head in, so as you're drawing this head, you really need to look at the whole pose. So I'm drawing the head, but I'm looking at the whole pose. So this line that I just put in there for the model's hair, I need to just stop for a second and look at it. Most people draw and they keep drawing. They keep looking at their paper, but they don't look at the reference. Or if it's a live drawing class, they don't look at the model. And so you just got to pause and you got to look. Let's see here. So breast and this arm. So with this arm, where's that elbow in relationship to the privates is a little bit higher. So I'm just going to suggest I'm going to glance at that negative space. You're not going to outline that arm. It's very, very awkward. Just suggest that shoulder, suggest the neck. Look at the negative space between the chin and the shoulder and head. I got to get the jawbone just lightly. Chin and hair. Lean back, look at it from far away, and part in the hair and other side of the part. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm trying to, now you need to shade. Shade. Cool. Let's see. Also triangulation. Yeah, everybody has their different terms that they use. There's like 14 million art teachers here on YouTube, and every single art teacher is saying the same thing, but with different words. And that's what makes you connect with that art teacher. So like even at the School of Visual Arts where I teach, there are some teachers that say gesture, they use a certain word for it, or they use a certain phraseology. But, you know, they're talking about the same identical thing that another teacher is talking about. It's just different words, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Is it Frederick? Yeah, Frederick. Yeah, that's also awesome, Frederick. Love that. All of the above is correct. All of the above is correct. So let me just, man, I got light hitting my paper, but it's hitting the computer screen and it's causing a glare. I can't see poop. All right, let's keep going here. So I'm gonna just push it. What time is it? We're good. We're good. So I would love it if you can give this video a thumbs up. I would love it if after the live stream, in the comments under the live stream video, if you can ask or give me your suggestion for what you want to see me do in a live class. Okay? Plan on doing live classes every Tuesday here, Tuesday around noon or midday, whatever, late morning. And yeah, I'm looking for suggestions so you can be into what I'm teaching. So I like the suggestion of foreshortened poses. I think that'd be kind of really cool. And yeah. Any other suggestions would be helpful. All right, just let's wrap around the rib cage. This arm is should be a darker line because it's coming in front of the torso. And do I want to put this shadow here? Yeah, maybe. Wrap around, wrap around, wrap around, wrap around with your shading lines. Can you hear any music in the background? I've got Spotify going, and I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully not. Um, Shoulder trapezius right over here. Ear shape. I'm just representing with a shadow right over there. Eyebrow, eye socket, and eye socket, bottom of the nose. And I think it would be helpful to do a little shading with the hair. Just looking. A little messy over here. I'm just going to turn this all into a shape. And that neck needs to be a little thicker. Cool. This is really good practice. You know, if you could just do these drawings like this and not care. So the writer's terminology is drawing for the waste paper basket. This is a great time for me in Ireland, which is why I missed the later class on DTO. Gotcha. No music. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Run-in poses always a struggle for me. Rune-in poses or run-in poses, I'm not sure. Always capture, yeah. What is the thing that you think makes the biggest improvement for your drawing skills? Um, oof. So it that's a tough one because there's different disciplines. There's drawing from life. There's drawing from photos. There's drawing out of your imagination. So to answer your question, I would say the most important thing is that you do the three disciplines. What are the three disciplines? Well, what I just said there. Spend a little bit of time drawing from life. Spend a little bit of time drawing from photos. Spend a little bit of time drawing out of your imagination. And I think that is most important that you do the three disciplines, okay? And then don't get overwhelmed and try to draw everything because that gets confusing. Pick a topic, like stick with the figure and just try to draw the figure from photos out of your imagination. And if you can get to a live class, great. If you can draw your roommate, your mom, your dad just laying down with clothes on the sofa, obviously with clothes, that's helpful. You're drawing. If you draw your pet, I'm contradicting myself. I said keep it simple, but a lot of people don't have access to a life drawing class, and I understand that 100%. So you still need to draw from life. Draw things that are alive, like a pet sleeping, like a family member watching TV. It doesn't matter that they're not like a nude model. That doesn't. You can still draw clothes and then do line of action and all that stuff. Like there's so much that you can do. Yeah. So this face needs to be kicked out. So that's what I would say. Do the three disciplines, and stick with a subject matter. And the subject matter should be a subject matter that you are into. Okay. Um, like I lose students with their homework when they're not into the assignment because they don't like the subject matter. That's just a fact. Okay? So that is the reason why one of the reasons why I stopped illustrating books voluntarily was I hated the subject matter because I had worked and painted young adult, young reader book covers for so many years. I just kind of got like sick of it. And so I wasn't into the subject matter anymore. So to get better, you have to draw subject matter that you love. All right. If you don't love it, there's going to be no staying power. You're just going to get really bored. Okay. That's just truth right there. Um, and I see that with all the younger students at the college. Each student comes into the class loving the subject matter, and that's what they draw the most. And so you can let's say you have a student and they only like to draw animals. Well, if you get them to try to draw like a landscape, it's going to be brutal for them, because that's all they've drawn is what they enjoy drawing, which is animals. So, like, you just pick a subject that you're into, draw that subject from life if you can, draw it from photos if you can. That's an easy one. And then try to draw things out of your imagination. Preferably, the things that you drew from photos would be ideal. So you're copying what you drew from a photo. I think that's really ideal, but out of your imagination. Okay. This is one big hot mess, people. I hope you're getting something from this. Um, yes, your husband will need to model. Do I want to keep working on this? I don't know. Let me just try to resolve it a little bit more. Um, okay. Going around. Darker line over here. So I'll do one next out of my imagination. Maybe I'll switch pencils, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I think I'm done with these. I think they're fine. So listen, I hope you got something out of this today. I just wanted to work from these photos. I think it's good for you to watch me draw out of my imagination as well as from some of the photos. And I wish I could resolve these for you and make them look like a little bit prettier. I need to move this eye over. Yeah. But these are just quick sketches for practice, and yeah. Cool. I'm just gonna do this last thing just for fun. Gonna smudge all this. Now, the beauty of doing this tapping and smudging this, because this paper does take like a little bit of abuse, is now I could come back in with my eraser and I could pull out some lights. The only problem is that you're leaving a coat of rubber on the paper with this kneaded eraser, and then the pencil will start to act like a little different. So we can accentuate the pelvis. Yeah, and there's so much more I can do on these drawings. So, okay. Each drawing was, I think, 15, 20 minutes. And so maybe a little bit longer. Let's say 25 minutes because we're already into this live stream an hour and 25. So then you would need to make a decision of like, do I want to push it and go to the next level? Okay. And then you would just start to slow down, complicate your edges, and make things look more refined. And for me, what that would be is I really need to look at this reference closer and I would need to adjust my working situation here because I've got such a glare, and I need to fix this for this live stream when I film because I've got such a glare on my photo reference that I'm having a hard time seeing the photo reference on my screen because there's a high glare. And that's no good because seeing the reference is everything when you are working from photo reference. Okay. So now that my hand is completely loosened up, I think I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to get rid of this. And let me see here. I'll do one more quick drawing. Okay. I'm just going to get, oh yeah, so I probably the live stream is going to end soon because I got to go to the bathroom. Yeah, oh my God. Okay. Okay, time out. Let me just take a sip of water here. For me, I've done some of my best drawings on this very cheap Strathmore 400 series paper. I also like Strathmore illustration board. I think Strathmore illustration board, for me, I've used it for, 35 years. And I think it's the best, like a 4-ply board. I can paint on it. I can draw on that. I've done all my illustrations on that. I can just draw on the board itself. I have a sheet right here, if you just bear with me. So this is Strathmore illustration board. It's like a 4-ply, and this is like my favorite paper. It's expensive, I'm not going to lie, but if I'm going to spend like 6-7 hours on a drawing, maybe I'll use this. I have done like 5-hour drawings on this paper, and I've gotten even longer. I've gotten good results. My issue right now is that I haven't used the COL-ERASE on this paper in probably like a year. And I've had most experience with drawing on this paper with this pencil. I forgot, because it's been a while, how soft it is. I was expecting this to be like a little bit harder. Now, other things that you can do, like to connect these poses, like I can do like a little tone here if I wanted to create like a rhythm going across the page, and this kind of loosens everything. Now, I'm not going to a blending stump. I could just simply use like a brush, and then I can come on in and go all the way across down over here. So now what I'm really doing is I'm connecting these poses. And yeah, do I have a brush? Yes, I do. Okay, sweet. We can wait. Okay. Well, listen, when I do my live class, it's 2 hours. And we break at hour 1, and it's called a bathroom break. So, yeah, what paper? Okay. Okay, I drew these poses with you, and I'm really pleased for the time we had to draw. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm just actually, you know what? I'm having a real good time doing this. I don't want to stop just yet. But listen, if you've had enough of me, I appreciate you watching. Please give the video a thumbs up. I think I am going to take like a minute-long bathroom break, and I will be right back because I kind of want to finish this, and I wanted to do like one more for you. So just hang in there, everybody. I know this must be like so funny, but I'm a fluids person, and I will be right back. All right, we're back. We're back. All right, let's see. I'm just looking at this from far away. And I need to also understand that some of this is off of the video. Okay, so I'm going to move this over a little bit. And I want this all to be on the video screen. So, better. Cool. And let me leave it like that. And then I'm just going to zoom out ever so slightly. Oh, God, what do I do with stuff? Okay, here we go. Let's just zoom out ever so slightly. Good. Okay. We are using a COL-ERASE today. And so, look, I'm just putting like a little bit of tone over here. And I'm going up against the model's body, but over here I'm going over the model's body. So I want to lose that edge. And over here I want there to be an edge. Now, when you shade like this, you do not in the background want to shade like this against like the model, because this is energy. And now I'm distracting from the model because I'm pressing down so hard. So we're just trying to suggest. And some areas I can go like a little bit darker. And I'm losing this leg in. And so this is another way that you could also get loose with your figure drawings, by losing edges into the background tone. And then some side of the model you have a harder edge. So usually a background leg is a great way for you to lose an edge. So now what I'm going to do, where's that brush? I'm sure I put it somewhere. You've got, oh, there it is. Okay, Bristol brush. Push into the paper gently. This is smudging very easily. Use the residual that you have on the brush to feather away. Push when you want to lose pencil stroke direction. So now we have a little environment. I'm going to take residual from the model's hair. Come down over here. So now I'm going to a different level now with this. So I'm starting to soften things a little bit. Now, okay, cool. Lose this leg. So this is how you relax things. Go right up to the edge, and I'm going to have to clean some stuff up with the eraser. I gotta admit, the live streams are a whole lot more fun when I have music going on in the background. Now, I'm going to be a lunatic here, and just take off all the edge. Neato. Okay. So, mono 0. Where is my razor blade? I guess I don't need a razor blade. I'm going to just pull out some lights. I'm going to clean up some edges. So let me go back to model number 2. Yes. Okay. Time out. Time out. Okay, so model number 2. Cool. So I know why I'm struggling a little bit here today, because I'm so flippin' far away from... Where's my bridge? I like to use a bridge so I don't smudge everything to death. So let's just pull out some lights and clean up a couple of edges. A couple of ribs that wrap around. Sternum area is very round. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here with this eraser. As I look at the live stream, it's a little blurry. I wish live streams were not blurry like that, but they are compared to what I'm seeing on my software. I'll post this drawing up in the post of my channel, drawingtutorialsonline.com, so you can see it a little bit clearer. I'm just trying to clean up some edges and show a little bit more information. I see a lot of proportion mistakes with this, but I'm okay with that. This quad could come out just a wee bit more. Now, when you're drawing a leg behind a leg, like, you've got to make sure that it's believable that this pencil is so short, my God, that this leg is going to connect with the other leg. There's not really too much highlight on that upper leg. I'm kind of just using my artistic license here with that particular pose. That's fine. Yeah, that's good enough with that pose. And I've got my pelvis. I can erase this line a little bit. And let's go to the first pose. I need to clean up this edge. I have a little less glare right now. I don't know if it was the light coming in through my window. It's getting a little cloudy out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So some of these eraser strokes should go around the model. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. This side of the glutes shouldn't be as light, but I'm just using some artistic license. I haven't done this in a long time, drawn with an eraser like this. A little bit on the heel. Oh, let me go to the last one that we drew. Let me just work on that a little bit, and then we'll come to an end here soon. Yeah. Okay. So this is just fun. Like, I'm not a big fan of reflected lights like this, but I'm gonna push it out right there. Can't see the first pose, Matt. Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna keep this photo up, Sandy, just because I'm bouncing from pose to pose. I'm gonna erase out the pelvis that I drew there. Scapula and deltoid. A little collarbone and a little bit of chest muscle. Just erasing out a little bit of facial features. Yeah, better. A little bit with the forearm. Okay, now last time here with this big brush to get rid of these eraser crumbs. And the finishing touches for this little live stream, I'll maybe get a longer pencil. I like to draw a line with longer pencils. These are all fairly short. Do I? Yeah, I'm going to break out one of my longer ones. Okay. So I'm going to go over this, and this would be another go through. Maybe pressing down a little bit harder. Trying my very best to look at the reference and make this edge a wee bit more complicated with some convex line. Now, you don't want to go too crazy with the convex line because we're drawing a young model here. Samuel Perkel or Perker? Per K? I can't say that. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate that. What questions do you have? I'm just here to try to share information and help y'all out. Just kind of messing around here and just having fun. No pressure, not trying to do a masterpiece, just trying to show you a drawing process. I've got a couple different drawing processes, and they pretty much are different because of the time that you have to draw. So if a 2-minute drawing is going to be complete different process. A 30-second gesture drawing is going to be a complete different process than just drawing from these photos. And I need to figure my shit out to see how I can see this without a glare. Because right now there's so much glare. And I know you keep hearing me repeat myself, and I apologize for that, but it kind of sucks because I have like a strong light on the paper, but that light is making everything glossy on my computer screen where my reference is. Okay, let's do some form lines. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see, is there a convex over here? There's a little fold of skin back of the knee. Just don't want to go all the way across the knee. So then a couple more angles maybe with the knee. Technically, I would have to stop if it was a regular Tuesday, but I'm on spring break with the college. And so I have tons of time, uh, and I need this practice really bad, because all the drawings that I do in the classroom are so short. And this is a little bit longer. So I need this time actually. So I'm practicing here with you on YouTube, just trying to get some of the kinks out and slowing my brain down, because what social media does is just destroy me. Constantly looking through Instagram and watching YouTube videos. Now, the YouTube isn't bad because it's long content format. And so I'm not like doom scrolling. I'm actually getting educated. So for me, YouTube is my favorite social media platform because it's not doom scrolling. I've learned, like, I've gotten an education on the human body listening to a lot of doctors, a lot of researchers. So yeah, that has helped me like immensely, because I'm a little bit of a health freak with all that jazz. And but this is just really good practice. Slowing my brain down, taking my time, doing something a little bit longer, and looking. Like, looking is a form of meditation. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm looking a lot at the photo reference, and it's a great way to just be a little bit more mindful and slow down. Um, okay, I'm cool with that. Let's go to the. Let me just make this forearm. Let's see. Yep, this is more of a curve. No straight lines. I was going to have a class on how to draw hands and feet today. Hands and feet are very, very important for figure drawing, because most people start to get pretty good with their figure drawing, and then their hands and feet suffer. As you notice, I'm really not spending too much time with the hands and the feet. I'm focused a little bit more on the torso. Let's see. Okay, let's go to the middle figure. Let's see, that is number 2. Cool. And who has questions? Who has questions? Now I'm going to use the bridge, even though it's going to muck up my line. Like, I need to have the side of my hand on the paper for my line to look natural. So let me do this. Let me do this. I'm taking a little scrap piece of newsprint, because I don't like the bridge. I mean, I used the bridge for many, 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 many years. I just don't love it for when I do line. I just need to tape this. And then, yeah, we'll come back to that. So let's roll in to a rib. I know the live stream video isn't the best. It's a little, yeah, I don't know why it's like that on YouTube, but it's not as sharp as I would like. I need to take a little time this week. That's job 4 million, and just do some research on how I can make my live stream settings look a little bit crisper. Okay, pelvis, rib, edge of the breast here, center of the breast, just like an oval. Do you ever use a maul stick? As a matter of fact, I've got one right across. Let me go get it and try. I think this maul stick is older than some of my students. I used it for years painting. It's not going to work for me because I've changed. So, like, let's say that I'm painting and I'm doing this with a small brush. Maul stick, perfect. When I'm trying to do like rhythmic line, not so much. So I've changed my style when I draw to use more of like this rhythmic, rounder, flowier line. And it's what enables me to really get like a quick gesture drawing fast. And the maul stick, even though I'm kind of slowing down here and I'm working on finishing these poses for this live stream, I still I'm not that much of a fan of the maul stick for this style. It like I last semester on drawingtutorialsonline.com I did paintings, oil paintings. That was part of the live stream, the fall semester and also the summer semester. And I use my bridge more than the maul stick. I sometimes I forget that I even have the maul stick because it's in the closet. But my neck was killing me yesterday. You're gonna laugh at this. So I'm like, I need to rub my neck, and I actually used the maul stick, and I rubbed, I rubbed the back of my neck with it, and it works. So note to everybody on YouTube, public service announcements: get a maul stick because if you have some neck crick in your neck, and I've got them all right, the maul stick is a great tool for that. Okay. Okay, this isn't as loose as I would like, but I just got to kind of, it's because this looks straight. And let's just go to the last one. I wanted to go over this one more time and just do like a little bit more dark line on each pose. So let's go to pose number 1. Cool. And pose number 1 here. Okay, I'm very pleased that this is going a little bit smoother than last time. What is your biggest challenge to do, even with all of your experience? Um, the the challenge for me has always been YouTube. Honestly, like it's the biggest challenge for me because like I don't know, like there's a lot of prep, and I just have this hang up with doing live streams, and I'm like, oh, I got to do all the setup, and I'm not feeling good today, and like I give myself all these dumb excuses, and it you know once I like say to myself, Matt, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just go on freaking YouTube and educate and teach people shit. And just do that, and it will be, you'll give somebody value. It's not about you doing like a perfect drawing. It's about you teaching people drawing techniques. And so that's, I gotta say, like that's my biggest challenge. Because like I've done this my whole entire life, teaching at the School of Visual Arts, teaching in front of like 18-year-olds, especially like the first few weeks of class when they're sizing you up and they're like, is this guy any good? Like, and like you got to be on your shit, like to keep like a room of 20-year-olds, even fourth year students. I have like a fourth year advanced life drawing class. You know, they're working on their thesis film. You got to be on your shit. You just can't go on in there and like not give them valuable information. You've got to draw on demand. You've got to teach them valuable stuff. And so it's never the drawing. It's for me, it's always getting motivated to do the live streams on YouTube. And what I need to do, the way that I used to do, was actually plan out a content schedule for YouTube. Yes, for YouTube. And that is why I'm asking y'all again to give me feedback in the comments, both here live and if you have time on the comments after I'm done going live, just because that will be there, and I could see it, and then I can go back and just write down some notes like, oh, okay, so and so wanted me to do this, and I think that's like that would help me a lot. So to answer your question in a very long rambling sort of way, YouTube is always the thing where I procrastinate, and I'm an idiot that way. Like I should just kind of get on here and just draw, and not worry about it. And almost like I find I'm so relaxed when I teach in the classroom because it's such a relaxing environment for me because I've done it so many years. And I do like a lot of crazy like gesture drawing in there. And there's some of my like best drawings because I don't really care. And yeah, so for me, it's this. Um, yep. All right, let's see. What else can I do? Let's work on this model's back a little bit here. And spine area is very dark in the center because there's two light sources. And let's wrap around little sacrum, sacrospinalis muscle over here. And this is round, 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 round. I don't know if you can see these like little details on the streaming quality. We've got spine over here. Oh, the ear would be nice. And I'm going to go darker with this model's hair. So my eyes are set now, and there's less glare in my studio. Maybe it's because it's 2 o'clock, and when I started, it was 12. Holy shit, I've been on here for 2 hours, and wow, okay. And the light has changed. So maybe I need to shut my blinds when I do this. And it's getting cloudier and cloudier. So yeah, angle at the top. Um, can't see what you are drawing now. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, I'm such a doofus. Thank you, thank you. Let me move this over. Okay, so I'm done. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Let's go to this. Thank you for letting me know that because I was rambling. Darn it. Okay. I said it was going smooth. I shouldn't have done that. What are we doing here? We're going to this scene. Awesome. Um, all right. I think that's going to be it. This is a little messed up. Yeah, that's a little messed up. I got to clean up this model's back. I can't leave it there. So I'm not going to put the reference back up. Just indulge me here for a second, everybody. So I'm just going to do, can I put that back up? Let's see, now that I move the paper. No, it's going to be blocked. Okay. Let me just kind of do this quickly and then we'll be done. Scapula rolling in. Some modeling factors over here. Dark halftone wrapping around the upper back. Darker right over here. Oh my God, I can see everything so much better right now. I'm going to try to move the reference. Okay, watch. I screw everything up. So this is pose 1. What if I move the reference? Cool. For you there. Back to YouTube. Okay, thank you, Sandy. I appreciate you. Yes, today we have spring break on DTO, so that's why I'm going so long with this. And then we're going to start with DTO again next week. Thank you, Sandy. Oh my God, this is crazy. Like I can see so much better here. Okay. I'm going to just push the values a little bit here. I'm going to just try to push this back a little bit. And this is round, round, round muscle. round, round, round muscle. A little darker over here. I want to try to show the reflected light. I'm going to resharpen. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate you. So this is kind of how I've always envisioned the live streams, just hanging out and drawing. And that's kind of what this is turning into. The problem is, like, just hanging out and drawing is so hard to write that in your thumbnail title because it's so long. Yeah, but this is always what I envisioned it being, where I kind of just do these drawings and mess around and answer questions. And I'm seeing better now for whatever reason. So this is helpful. So maybe I'll resolve a couple of other areas. And look, you could also use a smaller Bristol brush. And since I've pushed some of this into the paper, I'm going to stick with pushing this into the paper so it's cohesive. Around, around, around. I hate this thick line over here. It looks terrible. Breen Frog, I appreciate you. I can't pronounce that. I'm no good with words. Listen, I appreciate you joining us and watching. I don't expect you to stay for much longer. And this goes for everybody. I'm just doing this because I'm on a roll and I'm actually having fun. And so I kind of want to keep going until I've had enough. Okay, anonymous artist. Would your classes help to someone who wants to draw comic? Well, if I'm honest with you, how would my website benefit you? Indirectly, not directly. So I don't have any comic stuff on my website. What I have is a lot of traditional figure drawing courses. I have a lot of portrait drawing courses. And that's what I have the most of. And like, you could take everything that I teach and apply it to a comics style. I mean, I teach in the animation department, and everything that I teach the animation students in my perspective backgrounds class, I'm teaching them like realistic painting principles for realistic painting, oil painting, but they're applying what I'm teaching them to their animation stylized backgrounds. So you learn indirectly through what I teach you. Now, the main way, honestly, where's my eraser? The main thing is the critiques that even if you joined, I'm not selling my website. If you don't join, it's fine. If you join, it's fine too. But the main thing is, if you don't, where did I put? There it is. If you're not getting feedback on your artwork, that's a bad thing. Like, you need another set of eyes. Now, do you need another set of eyes like month in and month out and month in and month out? No. Do you need another set of eyes looking at your artwork occasionally? Yes. That's because you could be doing something that you're not supposed to be doing and you don't see it. And then somebody's like, "What are you doing? Like, this, you're not, that's not working." And you're like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know I was doing that." And that's what another set of eyes does. And every Monday on my website, I do a critique. And everybody who's a member can upload one drawing and one piece of photo reference if applicable, because some people don't use reference. And I critique their work. So yeah, like the comics is very similar to animation, and yes, absolutely, indirectly, indirectly. So I have most of the people on my Zoom class are from Europe, um, the UK, Germany, Belgium, and it's borderline for them. So the class is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time. So for them, it's doable. But if it was any later, it wouldn't be good. So we work for an hour, and then we take a bathroom break, and then we do a Q&A where everybody shows me what they did in the class, and I give them quick feedback in the class. And then after that, class is over after 2 hours, and then they can follow up and post their finished drawing in the critique gallery. And that is where they get like a longer critique. So, yes, it's borderline for my European friends, because if it was any later, it's too late for them. It's absolutely. This edge is so primitive. I need to. Okay. So now what you can do is you can take your eraser and pull out some lights where you want the viewer to look. Yeah, I'm going too crazy with that right there. No good. A little bit more here. Yeah, I really needed this practice today, so I appreciate you keeping me company on the live stream. Yeah, this has been fun. I haven't done a long drawing like this in a long time, and this, quite frankly, isn't really that long. So it's a good brain quieter for me. Okay, I can see so much more information right now. So let me roll this around trapezius. Ah, too sharp of a line, darn it. This shouldn't be this dark, but I want you all to look at this pose first. This is going to be the main. So I'm starting to draw a little bit more now with the eraser. I'm going to just have fun with this reflected light, spine. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. This arm is too long. Oh. Thank you so much, everybody. I want to see if I just can't resolve this a little bit more. My shoulder's going to be screaming at me soon. We're at 2 hours and 12 minutes. This is called marathon Zoom time, people. Marathon Zoom time. Not Zoom, Matt, YouTube. Okay, Devastator dash Omega. The last time you had a client with a deadline for a piece, would you do a job like that again? Okay, so, God, let me think about that. Recently, sorry for hitting the mic. Recently, during the winter break, I spent a couple of weeks in my basement organizing my stuff. And I have these flat files, these 3 humongous flat files. So just envision like 2 refrigerators stacked next to each other with flat files, with drawers. And they were loaded with artwork. And I went through all of the artwork, and I threw a lot of old jobs and paintings out that I did under the pressure of deadlines. And quite frankly, like, I looked at them and I was like horrified. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I looked at others and I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty good. I forgot all about this painting. So I don't know, like, if I would want to work under deadlines again. And the reason why is because, well, the main reason why is because my life is set up in a different way now. So my life is set up where I commute to Manhattan 3 days a week, and I teach at the School of Visual Arts, and I love that. It's a very long commute. I live very far away from the college, but I just love it. I love teaching there, and I like having, part of the reason why I created drawingtutorialsonline.com was I was like, you know what? I think I've had enough of other people's deadlines. I want to make my own deadlines. And when I first started that website, I kind of was my own publisher. You become your own publisher because you decide what you're going to film, and you decide the content that you're going to create. And so thus, you become a publisher. And so to go back and to work and have an art director kind of direct me again, I don't know. It's like once you've done that, it's hard to go back. And then I'm being very stylized outlining this right now. I'm just having fun. And then the other thing that I see that scares the shit out of me is I see the thesis students, the 4th-year students who are working on their thesis film. And it's due March 31st, and they've been working on it for probably a year. And I see the torture that some of them are going through to try to finish it on time. And they're working really hard. And I look at them doing that, and that gives me, in a way, like some bad memories of working constantly and not being able to stop working, and your hand is screaming, your arm is screaming. Like, there were times when I illustrated picture books that I lost seasons of my life where I started the picture book and it was September, and then I just remember looking out the window towards the end of the picture book and I'm like, oh shit, there's no leaves on the trees. It's not that I didn't go outside, it's that, like, you're so, like, focused, and there's not like a million book companies that are going to hire you. There's just like dozens. And so if you destroy your relationship with one, well, then that's it. Now you only have 11 left that will hire you. So you can't do that. Like, you've really got to be very good with each job that you get. So the pressure is ginormous. I hope that answered your question. So I guess the short answer is I don't think I'd want to do that again. Um, I love life drawing. I love teaching. I love the freedom of having my own website and doing the Zoom classes. It's a low pressure job. Um, yeah, I mean, you still got to earn a living, and you still got to produce and not be boring and entertain people while you're teaching. So yeah, there's that. But it's anything is easier for me than deadlines. Oh, I see. I'm starting to discover more stuff as I look at this longer and longer, and we're going through it and going through it and going through it. I'm starting to see more and more stuff slowly. And just to follow up on that, my last illustration job was 2009. And just, yeah, it was awful. It was awful. I blew it off. And I just, there's two different types. I say this to my students. I was just talking about this to them last week. There's two different types of motivation. There's push motivation and pull motivation. And push is when somebody tells you you have to do something. Like, Matt, you got to finish this illustration job. We got to pay the mortgage this month. And pull is when they're like, Matt, could you please stop illustrating and come and have dinner with the family? That's when you know you're doing the right thing, where somebody needs to pull you away from your computer or your easel or whatever you're doing. That's when you know you're in the sweet spot. Push pull. So I guess I'm enjoying myself because soon someone's gonna have to say, Matt, could you please stop doing the live stream and just help us out over here with the dogs, and they need to be fed. But it's that's what I'm talking about. The more I work on this, the more I see. I know once I start these facial features, I'm going to open up Pandora's box. Too small. Like I said, I'll post these drawings to the post of my channel, um, so you can see them a little bit clearer. Okay. I just want to get. Oh, that's way too dark. Son of a bitch. Okay. Uh, If you could pick the brain of a living or non-living artist for one day, who would it be? Hmm. Uh, Good question. Good question. Living artist would be Richard McDonald, who is a sculptor. I discovered Richard McDonald's artwork in Vegas at a Cirque du Soleil lobby. So my wife and I and our family, we went to a Cirque du Soleil show in Las Vegas. And when I walked into the lobby or the vestibule, whatever you want to call it, I forgot the hotel in Vegas. I saw these sculptures and I almost shit my pants. I mean, they were so good. And at that point, I had consciously made a decision to make figure drawing, teaching figure drawing, understanding anatomy like my mission, and to really, really get good at it. And then I saw Richard McDonald's sculptures, and I almost like died. Like I wanted to buy one so bad. They were like $5,000, and I just couldn't. And so Richard McDonald, and I would want to pick his brain. What specific question I would ask him is, how do you sculpt partially from life and partially out of your imagination when the models can't possibly hold those poses that you sculpt for long periods of time? So that would be my question. And I kind of know the answer. And the answer is he has a photographic memory. So, yeah. And then in terms of dead, it would have to be, or deceased, have to be Alphonse Maria Mucha, because his line, like I've got two of his books that are absolutely insane. Like you cannot find the images in this book on the internet, on a Google image search. The quality, they are so good in this book. And so I would just want to ask him some questions about how he gets like that beautiful fluid line. And I guess when I was an illustrator, I was obsessed with Norman Rockwell's work process. So I'm sure I'd want to ask him questions about that. Absolutely. I'm too dark with that. It's coming forward. Anybody have any art questions? Drawing questions? All right. Oops. Let's do this. Okay, so you can kind of see. Oops. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, Mucha is amazing. Yeah, you can see this one. I'm starting to push it a little bit more, getting a little bit more resolved. This one I've worked on the least. This one I've worked on a little bit more. Um, and I think that's all I got for you today, people. Any last questions before I call this live stream done? Okay, so my request for anyone listening would be to leave a comment when this video is done in the comment section of this live stream. Just giving me an idea of what you would like to see in terms of a class on YouTube on Tuesday. Now, in all honesty, I'm probably not going to do a close to 2.5 hour live stream. I'm probably just going to do like a 1 hour class. And I'll start anywhere between 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, to 12 noon New York time. I don't know. It'll be right around that time frame. But this was a lot of fun, and that would be really helpful. And if you've been watching this and you got something from it, please give it a like. That would be really, really helpful. But YouTube loves comments, so the comments would be awesome. And listen, if you're not subscribed to the channel, no inking, but I do draw on my iPad. That's the closest to it. Love hands and feet. That would be a good one. So I showed this last week. Yeah, please, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. That would be pretty phenomenal. I'm just looking at my... So I showed this last live stream. We had a guy model, and I was just drawing torsos. I was very lazy about it. And then, so I'll draw like that digitally. And what else I got? This was a demo in perspective class, 3-point perspective looking down. The model, the student on the left there, that was a lot of fun. And taught the students what to look for when drawing, looking down like that. It was a little bit more sketchy because we're doing it quickly in class. It's like a 10-minute type sketch. And then another one where I was teaching, I was going to do this today actually, teaching people how to draw heads out of one's imagination. Let's see. Yeah, let's close that. What is this? Yeah, and then different textures, different hair. This was a lot of fun, this class. Oh, and the skull. Let's see here. Oh my God, I got so many freaking layers. Oh, and then I was teaching them how to make funny looking faces and then turning that formula into like a tough guy. Yeah, oh yeah, I like that one a lot. That was a ton of fun. And oh yeah, that's it, finished. So I literally was going to do this today here on the live stream. Oh my God, that face looks so funny. Maybe, comments, that's going to be great. All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm going to call this one done. I really had a ton of fun. That was really good practice. And who knows, maybe I'll work on this week, or who knows, like I have off from school this week. I might come back and push this a little bit further on YouTube. So make sure you click on the bell for notifications to find out when I live stream, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody.